Hey everyone, get ready to have your hearts warmed. We've got 50 dog stories lined up, and trust me, you're going to need a whole box of tissues for this one. We're talking about those furry little creatures that steal our hearts and our socks, sometimes at the same time. We've searched high and low, from dog parks to fire hydrants, to bring you the most heartwarming, inspiring, and downright hilarious dog stories ever told. Get ready for tales of loyalty, friendship, and enough cuteness to make a cat person question everything. So buckle up, grab your pup, or your cat, we don't judge, and get ready for a roller coaster of emotions. It's going to be a tail-wagging good time. And remember, in the words of the great philosopher Snoopy, happiness is a warm puppy. Let's get started. Okay, let's kick things off with a story that'll have you saying, did they train for that? This is the tale of a sneaky dog who just couldn't resist the allure of a good barbecue. Every night, like clockwork, this four-legged foodie would slip out of the house unnoticed. Now you might be thinking, oh, just a little evening stroll, right? Wrong! This dog had a secret agenda, the neighbour's backyard BBQ party, every night.
This dog was practically a regular, sniffing out the best burgers and hot dogs in town.
The neighbours, bless their hearts, were none the wiser. They just thought their burgers were disappearing faster than usual. It wasn't until someone caught our furry friend red-handed, or should I say red-pawed, that the jig was up. The look on the dog's face. Priceless. It was a mix of busted. And can I at least finish this hot dog? This story proves that dogs have a mind of their own, especially when it comes to delicious barbecue. Get your tissues ready, folks, because this next story is a real tearjerker. It's about the unbreakable bond between a dog and their human, and the loyalty that extends even beyond goodbye. This is the story of Hachiko, a dog whose love knew no bounds. Every day, Hachiko would accompany his owner to the train station, patiently waiting for his return. It was their routine, their special time together. But one day, tragedy struck. Hachiko's human friend didn't come home from work. He had passed away, leaving a dog-shaped hole in everyone's heart.
But Hachiko didn't understand that. For days, weeks, months, and years, he returned to that train station, his tail wagging hopefully, his eyes searching for a familiar face in the crowd.
People noticed. They started bringing him food, water, and a little bit of comfort. Hachiko's story became a symbol of unwavering loyalty. A reminder that the love between a dog and their person knows no time or boundaries. It's a love story that continues to touch hearts, proving that sometimes the purest love stories are told with four paws and a wet nose. You know, dogs are amazing creatures. They're cuddly, they love belly rubs, and they have a knack for sniffing out the best snacks hidden in your pantry. But sometimes their incredible noses lead them to something even more important, like saving an entire family. This story is about a brave pup who knew something wasn't right in their home.
There was a gas leak, silent and invisible, but this dog's super sniffer detected it right away. Can you imagine just going about your day completely unaware of the danger lurking in your own house?
This furry friend started acting unusual, barking insistently and pawing at the kitchen door. Thankfully, the family recognized that something was up. They paid attention to their dog's warnings, and guess what? They discovered the gas leak just in time. Now that's what I call a true hero in a fur coat. This pup deserves all the treats and belly rubs in the world. Okay, let's talk about adoption, because there are so many amazing dogs out there just waiting for their perfect match. Shelters are full of loving pups who've had a tough time, and all they want is a family to call their own. This next story is about one of those lucky dogs who found their happily ever after.
Imagine walking into a shelter, rows and rows of adorable faces, all those wagging tails. It's enough to melt your heart. But for one special person, it wasn't about finding just any dog. It was about a connection, a feeling, and that's exactly what happened.
This dog chose them. Can you believe it? This sweet pup jumped right into their arms as if to say, you're the one I've been waiting for. Talk about a love at first sight moment, right? And the best part is, these two were meant to be. The adoption was a success and now they're living their best lives together. It just goes to show sometimes all it takes is a little leap of faith, or in this case, a leap into the arms of your new best friend. Have you ever been on a camping trip and felt that sense of adventure? The fresh air, the sound of nature, the thrill of maybe, just maybe, spotting a raccoon rummaging through your snacks. Well, this next story is about a dog who took that adventurous spirit to a whole new level.
Picture this, a family camping trip. Everyone's having fun, roasting marshmallows over the campfire, and suddenly the family dog disappears. They searched high and low, calling the dog's name until their voices were hoarse, but the pup was nowhere to be found. It was heartbreaking.
But here's the thing about dogs. They have a way of finding their way back, especially when there are delicious smells involved. Turns out this adventurous pup had wandered off, following the scent of something irresistible. And you know what they say, curiosity and a good nose make for an interesting combination. Thankfully, this story has a happy ending. The dog eventually found its way back to the campsite, tail wagging, with a big goofy grin on its face, as if to say, "What? I was just on an adventure."
Get ready to open your heart valves because this next story is pure sunshine. We're talking about therapy dogs, those four-legged angels who bring joy and comfort to people in need. You know, sometimes a wet nose and a wagging tail are the best medicine.
These incredible pups are trained to provide affection, relieve stress, and just make people feel better. They visit hospitals, nursing homes, schools, you name it, spreading love wherever they go. I mean, talk about a dream job. Can you imagine being in a hospital bed, maybe not feeling your best, and then this adorable fluffy dog walks in? It's like instant happiness. And the best part? These dogs don't judge. They don't care if you're having a bad hair day or if you spilled your juice. They're just there to love and be loved. So next time you see a therapy dog, give them a little pat on the head, if they're allowed, of course. They deserve all the belly rubs and ear scratches in the world for the amazing work they do. Hold on to your leashes, folks, because this next story is a real tearjerker. It's about those heartbreaking moments when our furry family members go missing and the incredible reunions that make it all worthwhile. We've all been there, right? That feeling of dread when you realize your dog is gone? It's like losing a part of your heart. You search high and low, put up flyers and call their name until you're hoarse. But sometimes, just when hope starts to dwindle, a miracle happens. This story is about one of those miracles. This pup was lost for months, wandering who knows where, facing all sorts of dangers. I know, I can't even imagine. But through it all, they never gave up hope. And neither did their family. And then one glorious day, fate intervened. They were reunited. Can you imagine the joy, the tears, the sheer relief? It's enough to make you believe in happy endings. Okay, people, get ready for a friendship story that's so unbelievable, it's off the charts. We're talking about a dog and a dolphin. You heard me right, a dog and a dolphin. Who would have thought? Now you might be thinking, how on earth do a dog and a dolphin even meet? Well, it all went down at the beach, naturally. This adventurous pup, probably chasing after a frisbee or something, swam out a little too far and came face to fin with our friendly dolphin friend. And you know what? They hit it off. They started playing together, the dolphin leaping and splashing, the dog paddling alongside. It was like they were meant to be best buds. Who needs a dog park when you have the entire ocean, right? Talk about a match made in, well, somewhere amazing. It just goes to show you friendship can blossom in the most unexpected places. You know, some dogs just can't be contained. They're like little furry Houdinis, always plotting their next adventure. And that brings us to our next heartwarming story. about a dog who, let's just say, really loved visiting their friend next door. This wasn't your average playdate, though. This dog was on a mission, and every fence, every gate, every obstacle was just another puzzle to solve. We're talking digging under, jumping over, maybe even teleporting. Okay, maybe not teleporting, but you get the idea. This dog was determined, and every day the neighbours would find this furry escape artist hanging out in their backyard, tail wagging, tongue out, ready for some fun. And you know what? It sounds like the neighbours secretly loved it, because really, who can resist a dog that just wants to spread a little joy? This story reminds us that sometimes a little bit of mischief can go a long way, especially when it comes with a wet nose and a wagging tail. Hold on to your tissues, folks, because this next story is a real tearjerker. It's about courage, loyalty, and a bond between a dog and a child that's stronger than, well, you'll see. Picture this. A beautiful sunny day, kids splashing around in the water, having the time of their lives. But then, the unthinkable happens. One of the children starts to struggle, they're in trouble, and panic sets in.
But just when things seem their bleakest, a furry hero emerges. This dog, without a moment's hesitation, leaps into action, swimming towards the child with a determination that would make Michael Phelps proud. This is serious stuff, people. And just like that, the dog reaches the child, guiding them back to safety, proving that sometimes the smallest among us can be the bravest. Talk about a true testament to the incredible bond between humans and their furry best friends.
Okay, get ready for a serious case of the warm and fuzzies, because this next story is about a birthday surprise that's pausatively adorable. We all know dogs love presents, right? But this dog, well, they decided to turn the tables and surprise their human. Now, this wasn't your average birthday card or a store-bought gift. Oh no, this dog went above and beyond. They had been secretly squirreling away toys, treats, you name it, for weeks leading up to their human's big day. And on that special day, they unveiled their secret stash with the proudest look on their face, like ta-da. I planned this all by myself. Can you imagine the look on the owner's face? Talk about a gift that keeps on giving. This story is a perfect example of how our furry friends understand and celebrate us in their own special way. You know how they say dogs have a sixth sense? Well, this story is going to make you believe it. We're talking about dogs who can sense things, important things, even before we do. This isn't about finding hidden treats, people. This is about a dog who knew something was wrong with their human, way before any doctor did. We're talking early detection, like a furry little superhero with a wet nose and a heart of gold. And you know what the best part is? These dogs, they don't need fancy medical degrees or stethoscopes. They've got that unconditional love, that deep connection with their humans, and that's all they need. So get ready to be amazed, because this story is going to warm your heart and maybe even make you want to hug your furry friend a little tighter. Okay, everybody, get ready for a story that's going to tug at your heartstrings. We're talking about military dogs, these brave pups who serve alongside our soldiers, putting their lives on the line every single day. These dogs are incredible, trained to sniff out danger, protect their handlers, and be the best partners anyone could ask for in tough situations. But what happens when their service is over? Well, that's where this story comes in. We're going to meet a retired military dog, learning to trade the battlefield for a backyard, a life of commands for a life of cuddles. It's an adjustment for sure, but you know what? These dogs, they're resilient, they're adaptable, and most importantly, they're full of love. So get ready for a heartwarming tale of courage, companionship, and a well-deserved happy ending. All right, everyone, buckle up because we're about to hit the open road. You know I love a good road trip, and it's even better with a furry co-pilot. That's right, today we're talking about dogs who travel the country, living that van life, and proving that adventure knows no bounds. Imagine cruising down the highway, wind in your fur, the world whizzing by, and your best friend right there beside you. No stuffy hotels, no boring routines, just endless possibilities and the freedom of the open road. These dogs, they're not just pets, they're seasoned travelers, explorers, and furry adventurers. They're hiking mountains, sniffing out scenic views, and probably leaving their mark on a fire hydrant in every state. So get ready for a heartwarming story of friendship, adventure, and the unbreakable bond between a dog and their human. And hey, maybe you'll even get some travel inspiration. You never know, you might just see me and Portia on the road someday. You know how much I love babies, right? Well, almost as much as I love puppies, but put them together and forget about it. Pure joy. And this story? Well, it's just that. We've got a dog, a brand new kitten, and a whole lot of cuteness overload coming your way. This dog, let's call him Sparky, he's got this new kitten sibling, and honestly, Sparky is more excited than a dog at a tennis ball factory. From the second the tiny fluff ball arrived, Sparky was like, my new best friend. I call dibs on bath time. He's always by the kitten's side, gentle as can be, licking its head, letting it snuggle. You know, showing it the ropes of being ridiculously adorable. And the kitten totally eating it up. It's like watching a tiny, purring, four-legged shadow follow Sparky everywhere, and my heart? Oh, it just melted into a puddle of pure mush. Okay, everybody loves a good glow-up story, right? Like, remember that time I tried to cut my own hair on my show? Yeah, not exactly a glow-up. More like a grow-back as fast as humanly possible. But this story, this is the good kind of transformation. We're talking about a shelter dog, a real diamond in the rough. This little guy, he was all alone, sad eyes, droopy ears, the whole 9 yards. You just wanted to scoop him up and give him all the belly rubs. And then the internet happened. Someone snapped a picture, shared it online, and bam, this little dude went viral. People were double tapping like crazy, sharing his story. And guess what? The adoption requests, they flooded in faster than you can say treat time. Talk about a glow up. This little guy went from zero to hero overnight. Now he's living the good life with a loving family, a bottomless treat jar, and probably like 1 million Instagram followers. You know, dogs, they're not just furry cuddle buddies. They're our best friends, our confidants, and sometimes our own personal superheroes. And in this story, we've got a 4-legged hero who puts on his brave face and protects his family. So, picture this. It's the middle of the night, everyone's sound asleep, dreaming of squeaky toys and belly rubs. But downstairs, something's not quite right. A shadowy figure is creeping around, up to no good. But they didn't know about the furry security system on duty. Our hero dog, let's call her Luna. Her senses are tingling. She knows something is up. She lets out a warning bark, just a little woof to say, hey, I see you. But the intruder, they don't get the hint. They try the doorknob. Big mistake. Luna? She goes from 0 to 100, barking like a furry siren. The intruder? They hightailed it out of there faster than you can say walkies. And Luna, she saved the day. Talk about a best friend who's always got your back, or should I say, your bark. So, picture this. You're out in the woods, right? It's getting dark, you're lost, and you can't find your way back to the campsite. Scary, right? Well, that's what happened to one camper, but luckily his faithful dog was there to save the day. This dog wasn't just there for moral support and cuddles, though. He was like a 4-legged park ranger. He could sniff out the right direction, leading his owner through the dark and confusing woods. Talk about a true sense of direction. They walked and walked, probably with the dog thinking, humans honestly can't live with them, can't find the campsite without them. Finally, they saw the glowing lights of the campsite in the distance. Relief! The camper was so grateful to his dog, who not only kept him safe, but also probably saved him from a night of sleeping under the stars with only squirrels for company. It just goes to show dogs really are a man's best friend, especially when you're lost in the wilderness. You know how some people say dogs have a sixth sense? Well, this story proves it. We've got a dog here who's not just out for a walk, he's on a treasure hunt. Every time this dog goes out, he sniffs out the most unusual things. We're not talking about a simple bone buried in the backyard. Oh no. This dog finds things like antique coins, vintage jewellery, even a first edition copy of Moby Dick. Okay, maybe not that last one, but you get the idea. His owner is convinced this dog has a nose for the extraordinary. He's found so many valuable treasures, he's thinking of getting his dog his own little metal detector vest and calling him Indiana Bones. But the real treasure, of course, is the bond they share. Walking the dog will never be the same. It's like a daily game of what's my dog gonna dig up today. It's enough to make you want to bottle that dog's sense of smell. Get ready for a story that's more heartwarming than a cup of hot cocoa on a snowy day. This is about a dog who's basically the welcome committee for other foster dogs. He's like the ambassador of love and tail wags. You see, this dog knows what it's like to be the new dog in a foster home. All those nervous sniffs and unsure barks. So whenever a new foster dog arrives, he's right there to show them the ropes, teach them the house rules, and most importantly, shower them with cuddles. He's like, hey little buddy, I know it's scary being in a new place, but don't worry, I've got you. We're going to share toys, snuggle on the couch, and I'll teach you how to steal treats from the kitchen counter. This dog's kindness doesn't stop there. He helps these foster dogs come out of their shells, build their confidence, and ultimately find their forever homes. He's basically a furry matchmaker, spreading love one wet nose and wagging tail at a time. Now, who wouldn't want a dog like that in their life? Okay, picture this. You're at the airport, right? And it's already chaotic, people running everywhere trying to catch flights. But then it gets even crazier because someone's adorable little fluff ball decides, you know what? I'm not ready to go on vacation. And boom, they make a break for it. This little escape artist is dashing through the airport, dodging luggage carts like it's an obstacle course, weaving between people's legs. You know those moving walkways? This pup is treating it like a doggy treadmill. It's pure pandemonium, but you can't help but laugh. People are trying to catch the dog, but it's like trying to catch a furry lightning bolt. Security guards are getting involved, and you just know this is going to end up on those airport blooper reels. Finally, after what feels like an eternity, someone tempts the little runaway with a treat. And just like that, the chase is over. Everyone's relieved, and you can bet that dog is getting extra belly rubs for that performance. We all know exercise is important, right? But sometimes you just need a little extra motivation to get those sneakers on. Well, this story is about the best kind of workout buddy you could ask for, a four-legged running partner. This incredible dog didn't just go for casual jogs. Oh no, this pup helped its owner train for a marathon. Can you imagine? We're talking miles and miles, pounding the pavement side by side. Talk about dedication. This dog was there every step of the way, through early morning runs, those tough uphill climbs, even those days when maybe, just maybe, its owner needed a little extra encouragement. And you know what? They crossed that finish line together. It's a true testament to the power of companionship, the incredible bond between humans and dogs, and proof that anything is possible with your best furry friend by your side. Now, you know how much I love dogs, right? Well, this story is about a dog who takes that love to a whole new level. This dog, let's just call him the mayor of Dog Park, because this pup knows how to organize a play date. Every day, this social butterfly heads to the park with one mission: to gather all the furry friends for some serious fun. He'll run from group to group, tail wagging like crazy, rounding up all the pups for a game of chase or a good old-fashioned wrestle. It's like he's the official greeter, the social director, making sure every dog has a playmate and no one feels left out. He's got that natural charisma that lets play, energy that just draws everyone in. This dog proves that dog parks aren't just for sniffing and bathroom breaks. They're a chance to make friends, burn off some energy and spread a little joy. And this pup is definitely leading the pack. You know how much I love animals, especially dogs. They're just the best. And you know what's even better than a dog? A dog with a job. This little helper, and when I say little, I mean big-hearted, decided the local community garden was the place to be. Maybe they were tired of squirrels stealing their tennis balls and decided to take matters into their own paws. Now, I don't know about you, but my gardening skills pretty much begin and end with watering plastic plants. But this dog, they're out there digging, fetching tools, probably even giving the tomatoes pep talks. You go, little buddy. This dog shows us that even the smallest paws can make a big difference. It's all about finding your passion, even if your passion is sniffing out the best carrots. Okay, picture this. You've had a long week, you're feeling a little rough around the edges, am I right? What do? Spa day, and you know who deserves a spa day more than anyone? Dogs! This pampered pooch hit the jackpot with a full day of doggy delights. We're talking mud masks, paw dicures, the works. I bet they even got a cucumber water, no ice, because, you know, slobber. Can you imagine the look on this dog's face as they're getting a massage? Pure bliss. I'm actually a little jealous. Maybe I should open a doggy spa next door to my regular spa. We can have a joint grand opening, but seriously, this story just warms my heart. Because everyone deserves a little pampering, even our furry friends. It's a reminder to treat ourselves and our dogs to a little extra love. They say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Well, I say they've obviously never met this dog. This senior pup is proving that age is just a number. This dog decided they weren't going to let a few grey hairs slow them down. They're learning new tricks, helping around the house, maybe even teaching the young pups a thing or two. I bet they're the life of the dog park. Now, you know I love a good dance routine, and I'm thinking this dog and I need to team up for a little something special. We'll show everyone what it really means to have pep in your step, no matter your age. This story is a beautiful reminder that it's never too late to learn and grow. You go, senior dog. You know, people always say dogs are man's best friend. But what about woman's best friend? And what about a dog who speaks French? Okay, maybe not speaks, but understands. That's next level communication. This is the story of Pierre, a poodle. I love poodles. They're so smart, and they look like they should be wearing a beret and carrying a baguette. Anyway, Pierre lives with a family that speaks both English and French, and this dog, get this, he knows which language is which. I mean, can you imagine? Pierre, sit! Pierre, assiste-toi! This dog is fluent. He probably watches French films with subtitles. He probably corrects people's pronunciation. I bet Pierre dreams in French. He probably dreams about cheese and romance and those little cars they have. I love those cars. Okay, so we all know dogs have jobs. Some dogs are therapy dogs, some are police dogs, and some are professional nappers. But this story is about a dog with a very important job, a farm dog. This is Bessie, a border collie, and she lives on a farm with a whole flock of sheep. Now, I've met sheep, and let me tell you, they're not the brightest crayons in the box. They're basically fluffy clouds with legs. They wander off, they get lost, it's a whole thing. That's where Bessie comes in. She's like the sheep whisperer. She herds them, she rounds them up, she makes sure they don't end up in the neighbour's backyard eating their prize-winning roses. And you know what the best part is? Bessie loves it. She's got all the energy in the world, and she's happiest when she's working. It just goes to show you, finding a job you love is important, even if you're a dog. Get your tissues ready, people, because this story is a real tearjerker. It's about the incredible bond between a dog and a child with autism. This is Max, a golden retriever, and his best friend, Liam. Liam has autism, and sometimes the world can be a confusing and overwhelming place for him. But Max gets it. Max is always there for Liam, providing comfort, companionship, and unconditional love. He's like Liam's furry guardian angel. They play together, they read together, and Max even helps Liam with his therapy. It's amazing to see how animals can sense and respond to our needs, even when we can't always express them. Max and Liam's story is a beautiful reminder that love knows no bounds. And you know what? I bet Max even likes Liam's favorite snacks. That's true friendship right there. Growing up in Louisiana, I thought I knew culture shock. But then I heard about Bartholomew, a beagle who traded country life for New York City. Imagine Bartholomew, used to fields and squirrels, now navigating crowded sidewalks and honking taxis. At first, he was like a fish out of water or a beagle out of the bayou. Startled by sirens, overwhelmed by people, and puzzled by pigeons. But when in New York City you learn to hail a taxi, Bartholomew, being smart, quickly adapted. He mastered sidewalk etiquette, made friends in Central Park. His story shows no matter where life takes you, with courage and love, you can adjust to anything. You know, I love discovering hidden talents, especially when they involve adorable animals. Meet Sparky, a golden retriever with an eye for art. Sparky's owner noticed his artistic inclinations. She gave him his own set of paints and a canvas. Sparky's paintings have become a sensation. He donates all the proceeds to animal shelters. Talk about a talented and big-hearted pup. I love to relax on the couch and binge-watch my favorite shows. Turns out, I'm not alone. Meet Winston, a bulldog who takes Netflix and chill to a whole new level. This dog isn't just content with sharing the couch, he has his own opinions on what to watch. Winston's owner swears this dog understands television. He barks at the scary parts, wags his tail during the funny scenes, and even knows when to grab a tissue during those tear-jerking animal rescue stories. Now, I'm not saying Winston is a TV critic, but he does seem to have a sixth sense for good programming. His favorite shows include anything with animals, cooking competitions, and documentaries about the rainforest. Winston is a dog of discerning taste. He's living proof that you don't need to speak human to appreciate a good story. And who knows, maybe Winston can give me some recommendations for my next movie night. Now that's what I call must-see TV. Have you ever lost your favorite cookies? I mean, who hasn't, right? This next story is about a four-legged Sherlock Holmes named Sparky. Sparky lived in a quiet neighborhood where nothing much ever happened except for the mysterious case of the disappearing cookies. Every week, Mrs. Jenkins would bake a fresh batch of her famous oatmeal raisin cookies, and every week, like clockwork, half the batch would vanish. Now, Mrs. Jenkins, bless her heart, started to suspect little Timmy next door. Timmy, with his chocolate-smeared face and a penchant for sugary treats, was an obvious suspect. But Sparky, with his keen sense of smell and a nose for justice, knew better. This was no ordinary cookie thief. Oh no, this was the work of a squirrel. Sparky had seen the bushy-tailed bandit sneaking in and out of the kitchen window. Sparky, being the hero he was, decided to take matters into his own paws. He waited patiently by the window, tail wagging innocently, until the furry fiend made his move. And when he did, Sparky sprang into action, barking up a storm and sending the squirrel flying back up the tree, cookie crumbs scattering in the wind. Move over, Paris Fashion Week. There's a new fashionista in town. This is the story of Coco, a pup with a passion for fashion and a closet bigger than mine. Coco, a perfectly pampered Pomeranian, belonged to a sweet young woman named Lucy. Now, Lucy was a talented seamstress and she loved making clothes for Coco. It all started with a simple bandana, a splash of colour to brighten Coco's day. But then Lucy made a matching sweater, and then a raincoat, and then, well, let's just say Coco's wardrobe became the envy of every dog in the park. Coco, with her perfectly coiffed fur and an outfit for every occasion, became a local celebrity. People would stop Lucy on the street just to admire Coco's latest ensemble. Lucy started sharing Coco's outfits online, and soon Coco became an internet sensation. Designers from all over the world were sending Coco their latest creations. Coco, the once ordinary pup, had become a four-legged fashion icon. You know how they say opposites attract? Well, this next story is about the unlikeliest of friendships, the kind that makes you go, "Oh, how sweet is that?" This is the story of Buster, a big, goofy golden retriever, and Ducky, well, you guessed it, a duck. Now, Buster belonged to a family who lived by a beautiful lake. Ducky, on the other hand, was a bit of a lone ranger, paddling around the lake, minding his own business. One sunny afternoon, Buster was playing fetch by the lake when his ball accidentally bounced into the water. Buster, being a land-loving dog, looked at the ball, then back at his owner, then back at the ball again. Ducky, seeing Buster's dilemma, decided to lend a wing, or should I say, a beak. Ducky paddled over to the ball, gently nudged it with his beak and brought it back to Buster. Buster, overjoyed, showered Ducky with grateful licks. And that, my friends, was the beginning of a beautiful friendship. Chapter 37. Unlikely friends. You know they say opposites attract, right? Well, tell that to a dog and a squirrel. You'd think a dog would see a squirrel and think lunch, but not this pup. This little guy saw a friend. This dynamic duo does everything together. Naps in the sun, sharing snacks, though I'm not sure the squirrel's nuts are very appealing to the dog, and even chasing each other's tails, or should I say, tail and bushy thing. They even cuddle. It's the cutest thing you've ever seen. This dog and squirrel prove that friendship truly knows no bounds, not even species. It's enough to make you want to go hug a squirrel, or maybe just stick to the dog. Chapter 38. Tech-savvy pup. Have you ever met a dog so smart they could teach a tech CEO a thing or two? Well, get ready to meet this tech-savvy pup. This dog is basically living in the future, while some of us are still trying to figure out how to use all the features on our phones. This little genius can turn lights on and off, play their favorite tunes on command, and even order treats online with a little help from their human's credit card, I'm sure. It's amazing what dogs can learn, isn't it? I mean, I'm still waiting for the day I can teach my dog to grab me a snack from the fridge without destroying everything in its path. This pup is truly an inspiration to us all. Who knows, maybe one day they'll be teaching a class on how to use all the latest gadgets. Chapter 39, Super Sniffer. We all know dogs have an incredible sense of smell, right? But this next story takes it to a whole new level. This dog's nose is so powerful they make Sherlock Holmes look like an amateur. This super sniffer has found everything from lost wedding rings to misplaced car keys. I mean, talk about impressive. They've even helped reunite people with long-lost family heirlooms. This dog's nose is basically a superpower. Imagine the possibilities. You could finally find your missing socks, that remote control that's been lost in the couch cushions for years, or even the end of a really, really long line at Disneyland. This dog is living proof that when it comes to smelling things, nobody does it better. You know, I've always wanted to try surfing. It looks so cool and effortless, just gliding on the waves. But then I remember I have the balance of a newborn giraffe on roller skates. So I'll live vicariously through this next story. This is about a dog who lives for the beach. This pup doesn't just chase waves, this dog surfs them. This little dude, or dudette, has got the skills, the style, and the sun-bleached fur to prove it. Can you imagine? You're paddling out there, and suddenly your furry best friend comes cruising up beside you, riding their own wave. That's like next-level friendship goals right there. And the best part is, the dog is always smiling. Pure joy, folks. It's a reminder that sometimes you just gotta grab life by the leash and ride the wave, even if you're wearing a doggy life vest. Get those tissues ready, folks, because this next story is truly inspiring. We're talking about service dogs, the incredible pups who dedicate their lives to helping others. These dogs are more than just pets. They're heroes in harness. They're trained to assist people with disabilities, providing companionship, support, and a whole lot of love. Imagine the bond, the trust, the unwavering loyalty between a service dog and their human. It's a beautiful thing. So next time you see a service dog, remember the incredible work they do. Give them a smile, a nod, maybe even a quiet thank you. They deserve all the love and respect in the world. You know how some dogs are content just napping all day? Well, not this pup. This dog is all about playtime all the time. And the best part? This little inventor creates their own fun. We're talking about a dog who doesn't need fancy toys or expensive gadgets. Give them a stick, a cardboard box, a patch of sunlight, and boom, instant entertainment. I bet they could even make doing taxis look fun. And that's a special kind of talent, people. This dog is a reminder to never lose that childlike sense of wonder and playfulness. Because let's be honest, sometimes the simplest things are the most fun. So go ahead, channel your inner playful pup. You know you want to. You know, I've worn my fair share of fancy outfits on the show, but have you ever seen a dog in a tiny tuxedo? It's adorable. This next story is about a charming canine who steals the show at a local dog competition. This dog, let's call him Sparky, wasn't your typical prize-winning pup. He wasn't a purebred with a fancy pedigree. Nope. Sparky was a rescue dog, a mutt with a heart of gold and a tail that wagged with more enthusiasm than a room full of puppies. Now, Sparky wasn't winning any agility courses or impressing anyone with his obedience skills. He was much more of a sit and stay for treats kind of guy. But Sparky had something special, a certain je ne sais quoi that captivated the judges and the audience alike. Maybe it was his infectious smile, or maybe it was the way he tilted his head when you talked to him. Whatever it was, Sparky was crowned most charming canine, proving that sometimes it's personality that takes the cake, or should I say, the bone. Okay, picture this. You're strolling through a museum admiring ancient artifacts when suddenly you see a dog. Not just any dog, mind you, but a dog wearing a little backpack and a pair of those doggles. Meet Scout, the city-exploring canine who's making history more pour some, one monument at a time. Scout isn't your average tourist, snapping selfies with statues. Oh no, Scout is all about soaking up the historical vibes. You can find him sniffing around ancient ruins, napping under the shade of centuries-old trees, and posing for photos with bemused tourists. Scout's owner, a history buff, says that Scout has a sixth sense for sniffing out the most interesting historical spots. He says, Scout can sniff out a hidden tunnel or a long-forgotten burial ground faster than you can say walkies. So, next time you're planning a trip to a historical city, don't forget to pack your curiosity, your walking shoes, and maybe, just maybe, a dog who appreciates a good dose of history. We all know dogs have a sixth sense, right? They can sense when you're feeling down, when someone's at the door, and apparently when it's time to bust a move. This next heartwarming story is about a musical mutt named Mozart. How perfect is that name, eh? Who has the most refined taste in music you've ever seen? Now, I'm not talking about Mozart howling along to Who Let the Dogs Out. This sophisticated pup prefers the finer things in life, like a little Beethoven, a dash of Bach, and maybe a sprinkle of Taylor Swift for good measure. Mozart's owner discovered his musical talents by accident. One day, she was playing classical music, and Mozart just stopped, sat down, and started swaying his head back and forth like he was conducting the orchestra himself. From that moment on, Mozart's musical journey began. He has a playlist for every mood: classical for relaxing, pop for playtime, and jazz for those sophisticated evenings in. Trust me, you haven't lived until you've seen a dog tap its paw to the beat of a jazz solo. You know, we always say dogs are part of the family, and this story really proves it. This family experienced something really scary, a natural disaster. It could have been anything, a fire, a flood, you name it, but thankfully they had their dog with them. Now, this pup wasn't a trained search and rescue dog, just a regular family pet. But when things got rough, this dog knew exactly what to do. They herded everyone together, made sure everyone was safe, and stayed by their side through the whole thing. Talk about bravery. Can you imagine? I mean, if a hurricane hit my house, I'd be hiding under the bed with a year's supply of tortilla chips. This dog is way braver than me, that's for sure. But it just goes to show you the incredible bond that dogs have with their humans. They can sense danger, they can offer comfort, and they always put their family first. Okay, everybody loves to laugh, right? I mean, that's why I dance on this show every day. But you know who else are natural comedians? Dogs! That's right, some dogs are just born with the funny bone. This next story is about one such dog, a real class clown on 4 legs. This pup knew how to work a room, I'm telling you. Whether it was a silly walk, a goofy grin, or a knack for perfectly timed accidents, hey, we've all been there. This dog had everyone in stitches. But here's the thing, this dog wasn't just funny, it was actually making a difference. This little comedian brought laughter to people who really needed it. Folks in hospitals, retirement homes, you name it. They say laughter is the best medicine, and this dog was prescribing it like it was going out of style. I always say, find something that makes you happy and hold on to it. And for all those people lucky enough to meet this dog, that happiness came in the form of a wagging tail and a whole lot of laughs. Who here loves a good road trip? I gotta say, there's nothing quite like hitting the open road, windows down, music blasting, especially with your best furry friend riding shotgun. And that's exactly what this next story is all about. A dog and their human exploring the country, one scenic route at a time. They visited national parks, sniffed out the best local treats, and probably took 1 million adorable photos along the way. Can you imagine the adventures they had? I bet this dog saw more squirrels than any dog has ever seen in their life. And let's be honest, sometimes the best part of a road trip is just hanging your head out the window, feeling the wind in your fur, or in my case, my hair. But you know what I love most about this story? It reminds us that life is a journey and it's always better with a dog by your side. So buckle up, grab your co-pilot, and remember, the open road is calling. You know, I've been lucky enough to travel all over the world. I've seen the Eiffel Tower, danced the tango in Argentina, but nothing compares to the joy of seeing a dog experience snow for the first time. Is it cold? Is it food? Can I chase it? Yes to all 3. It's like someone designed the perfect dog toy and covered the ground with it. This is the best day of my life. And you know what? They're not wrong. So the next time it snows, grab your pup, bundle up and have fun. Just maybe skip the yellow snow. Trust me on that one. You know how much I love books, right? This story is about a dog named Winston who loves books. Every Saturday, he'd drag his human Agnes to their local bookstore. Agnes was a bookworm, so it was a win-win. At first, folks were surprised, but Winston was a charmer. He'd sniff books, never drooling, and curl up at Agnes's feet. People came from all over to see Winston. The owner, Mr. Thompson, swore Winston boosted sales. Winston brought joy to everyone who walked through those doors. Get your tissues ready, folks, because this next story is a real tearjerker. It's about a dog named Bailey, and Bailey was no ordinary dog, no sir. Bailey was a hero, a lifesaver with 4 paws and a heart of gold, literally. You see, Bailey was a blood donor. Now, I know what you're thinking, dogs can donate blood. Well, they sure can. And just like humans, their donations save lives. Bailey's owner, a wonderful vet named Dr. Lisa, she knew how important it was. She saw firsthand how many furry friends needed blood transfusions, sometimes in emergencies. So Bailey, being the brave and selfless pup that he was, he stepped up to the plate, or should I say, hopped up on the table. He went through all the necessary tests, aced them with flying colours, and became a regular at the veterinary blood bank. And let me tell you, Bailey's donations, they made all the difference. They help dogs recover from surgeries, accidents, illnesses, you name it. Bailey, he might not have been able to read a medical chart, but he sure knew how to save a life. And that, my friends, is pretty darn amazing. Wow, that's it, folks. We did it. We journeyed through 50 heartwarming dog stories, and honestly, my heart is bursting. We laughed, we maybe cried a little, don't judge. But most importantly, we were reminded of the incredible bond between humans and their furry best friends. These stories prove that dogs, they're not just pets, they're family. They're the furry comedians who brighten our days, the loyal companions who never leave our side, and sometimes they're the heroes we never knew we needed. So, the next time you see a dog, give it an extra scratch behind the ears. And if you're lucky enough to have one of your own, go ahead, give them a big hug. They deserve it. Don't forget to share your own dog stories in the comments below. Who knows, maybe your furry friend will be the star of our next heartwarming video. Until then, keep on loving those